What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Phoenix here, and welcome back to a brand new Marvel Spider-Man 2 video. And in today's video, we ought to be discussing a whole entire other character, a whole entire other villain that will make his way, since Kraven the Hunter is now going to be one of the main antagonists. But does that mean that another protagonist could be coming? Without a doubt, let's go ahead and figure this out. And without that, let's go ahead and hit 20 likes on today's video. And other than that, let's go ahead and get right into it. So this article is coming from thegamerank.com, and it says Marvel Spider-Man 2 has seemingly been transparent about its main antagonist, which is a great way to complement the fact that Marvel Spider-Man had a surprise villain that fans weren't supposed to know about until the game launched. If there is no greater antagonist lying in wait, Insomniac was likely smart not to retreat the same reveal formula for its villains. Marvel Spider-Man 2's Kraven and Venom are now front and center, and full looks are given for them in a concept art, but the potential for more supplementary antagonists such as the Lizard is inevitable. Particularly, Kraven's introduction to Insomniac's Marvel Spider-Man franchise could be a salient way for Spider-Man's first canonical villain to make his own legitimate appearance in a sequel. Now, as you guys don't know who we're referring to, if you guys don't know, there is a line in Marvel Spider-Man where Peter says, "Rhino, my second favorite Russian," which means that there's obviously a hint towards, a little bit of a hint that we're obviously going to meet our boy Chameleon, which is where the next one we're going to talk about comes into play. It says, unlike how Marvel Spider-Man fans already knew all but one member of its Sinister Six before the game was released, Marvel Spider-Man 2 might have more surprises when it comes to its villains. It would be preposterous to think that players only have 3 villains to battle, especially since there are 2 unique Spider-Men. However, fewer villains might actually make more of an impact depending on how important they are to the narrative and how much time is dedicated to fleshing them out as characters, much like it seems that Kraven's role is far more from fluff. Either way, there would be no better time at all to at least allude to the Chameleon than in Marvel Spider-Man 2 through his familial connection with Sergei Kravenov. Now, as you guys know, Kraven the Hunter and Chameleon are brothers, and seeing as that Kraven's going to be coming to New York, there is a chance that Chameleon is also in New York, because as you guys know, in the first game, notice how Peter said to Rhino his second favorite Russian. This obviously probably potentially alludes to the fact that Peter has probably fought the Chameleon before and probably has met him up before and probably framed him or something a long time ago. But following that, this article also says the Chameleon, whose real name is Dmitry Murdyakov, is Kraven's half-brother. There's an obscure history these characters share that fans will be wholly unfamiliar with if they are uncertain who either Kraven or the Chameleon is. And not many fans might know that they have this relationship due to how infrequently it has any effect on Spider-Man stories, either of them appearing. Their shared story and individual origins are relatively inconsequential, though Insomniac's Marvel Spider-Man franchise possesses its own original universe. This means that Insomniac could establish any kind of lineage or trauma between them that it wants to, let alone erase their half-brother connection altogether. Now, as you guys know, they are brothers, and honestly, I believe they can do it. Seeing as how we got Kraven pulling up to New York, I believe that they can do it. Let me know down in the section, let me know down in the comment section below if you guys think they can do it. But following that, it says, to be clear, the Chameleon is actually established in Insomniac's universe already, since he is referenced during the Spider-Man side quest when Peter Parker pursues all well-meaning imposter, because the Chameleon has been established, but Kraven hasn't. This is an interesting intersection between them that could be explored further. Now, I agree, this actually can be explored further in the game, because when you really think about it, there was that mission where Peter thought it was Chameleon. I think that mission was called, I think, 2 Spider-Man or something like that. I think it was called that. I don't know what it was called, but I'm pretty sure it was called that. But it was a side mission in the game where you had to figure out who was doing all this, and pretty much there was someone going around dressing up as Spider-Man, and people actually thought it was him. Which, by the way, spoiler for that side mission, turns out it wasn't. But following that, it ends up saying, now this is whenever I'm interested, because like, for the fact that it's saying this isn't something that, you know, Chameleon can do. But following that, it says, Chameleon doesn't traditionally have any powers or anything that would allow him to go toe-to-toe with Spider-Man. Rather, the intrigue and dread of Chameleon is that he is able to believably impersonate and disguise himself as anyone he wishes. Now, I don't know if you guys saw Spectacular Spider-Man. If you guys haven't seen Spectacular Spider-Man, he was Norman and he was the Goblin at the same time. If you guys remember that episode, Chameleon kept Spider-Man guessing on who, you know, if Norman was Goblin or not. Turns out that Goblin was Norman Osborn all along. So, and I think and on top of that to mention, he also was impersonating Spider-Man at one point too. So that's also a possibility that he can do. So like, imagine if Chameleon figures out a way to use his technology to turn into Spider-Man and frame him for something, and people are going to automatically assume that, oh, it's him. Oh, it's Spider-Man. Spider-Man did all this stuff. Nobody's not going to believe that Peter's the one that actually did it. But following that, it also says, this gives the character an infinite number of possibilities in Marvel Spider-Man 2 if he were to appear, such as impersonating J. Jonah Jameson, Mary Jane Watson, or Norman Osborn. If Chameleon could be secretly impersonating any character, the fans wouldn't know who to trust, and there could be a dramatic irony at play if fans begin to notice a character's facade has slipped while either of the Spider-Man are aware. It might be smart to keep close observation on characters in Marvel Spider-Man 2's narrative for this reason. But right now, the only reason why he might be featured as an antagonist is because of his half-brother too. Until more is shared, it will be exciting to see how Insomniac's take on Kraven is molded, and if Chameleon plays a role in the sequel, if their connection is honored in the source material. Now, you guys already know how I feel about this. Let me know what you guys think about if Chameleon's going to make an appearance or not, because I believe that he can make an appearance, but without a doubt, it's been your boy Phoenix. I'll see you guys later on another spectacular, Spidey, webtastic banger.